Peter, thanks for sitting with me. We're here at Fabrika. Did you want to tell me about yourself?
My name's Petar Tasic. I'm a 39-year-old Australian-born of Serbian heritage. My family migrated to Australia back in the late 60s.
How did you get started in hospitality?
So my professional background is in finance. I finished my studies in UCID and did a stint of about 10 years in the equities and derivatives markets.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was. It was a good experience. As a 12-year-old kid, I was always into my sports. I lived across the road from Chisholm Park, which anyone in the area would know. I was playing soccer. I had a really bad knee injury from a skiing accident, and I was injured and couldn't train. And at the time, there was an opportunity there. There was a little canteen as part of this sort of council building that was unoccupied. I went home one night and said to my father, I said, look, there was Campbell's Cash and Carry that used to be a local as well. We put together the idea for me to start working there and selling I guess, your drinks and chips and hot dogs and so forth out of that canteen from the age of 12 until about 15, every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
That's a lot.
I used to work running this canteen at the soccer field. And following that, just across the road from where Fabrika is currently located, my father embarked on a venture where he was turning an old building into a restaurant. Mm-hmm. That was the original Madeira here in Australia. And that was something that was very hands-on with me also. I was there with my father day in, day out, physically renovating this place. It took a while to get on its feet, but when it did, it was an immediate hit. It's in my blood. Yeah, it's something I've grown up with and something that I found came quite naturally.
So what kind of food do you serve at Fabrika?
Okay, Fabrika's span and its focus is quite regional. Mm-hmm. So the core of the cuisine on offer is Balkan. Some would say Serbian, some would say Croatian. So our background is Serbian, and then we dance around that with a whole bunch of Southeastern European influence. Okay. You will have some dishes that will have influence through Turkey, or some that are Greek, others through the Austro-Hungarian times. So Serbia, being where it is geographically, it was influenced so much by the surrounding nations and surrounding empires that ruled for hundreds of years. Yeah. Fabrika tried to bring to the surface the fact that Balkan food was somewhat misunderstood for a long time. When you mentioned Balkan to people, they weren't quite sure what it was. When they taste it, they love it. Okay. So Balkan food is all about feasting. Balkan food is all about enjoying it with friends and family. It's really meant to be shared, and the biggest ingredient in Balkan food is love.
Can you give me an example of what I should order when I come in?
Look, it all comes down to how daring you want to be. The best Balkan food is simple. Very, very heavy meat focus. A standard Balkan meal will probably either include slow roasted meats, slow cooked meats, grilled meats.
That's amazing.
meats, right? Yeah. If somebody does come into Fabrika, what's really important here is that you are not afraid to try what we recommend. Mm-hmm. 9 out of 10 times, people walk away loving it and come back saying, I want what I had last time. Okay. If you did come in, I'd say you have to start with meze. We do, meze to order. So, for example, we do a whole bunch of different cold cuts, charcuterie type arrangement, with different cheeses, olives, different age-old recipes of cheese spreads, dips, and things like that. Yeah. Another thing that I recommend you have to try is some of the traditional dishes. So things like sarma, the cabbage rolls. Right. Anyone with a Serbian friend knows about sarma, just like they do rakia. Yeah. Our slow-cooked meats. We use an age-old tradition. Some refer to it as peka, others as such. Basically what it is, you've got these we use cast iron pots, some use clay pots. It's slow-cooked, so it's in there for 3, 4, 5 hours, depending on how much you've put in there. Mm-hmm. So seasoned, dry rubbed, put in with vegetables, and then slow-cooked in a high-temperature combustion environment. Then the crepes. The crepes are a must. If you've got room. You won't have room, but if you...
What's your connection with Madeira?
Madeira is where all of this began. Madeira being my father's favourite restaurant in Belgrade, him then opening up here in County Heights in '97. That restaurant was around for almost 10 years. He offered me that restaurant and said, look, take over and run it. And I thought I was a big shot and knew what I wanted and pursued some career that ended up being completely wrong for me. 2010 came around, we had the crazy times of the GFC. I realised that there was a mismatch between what I was passionate about and the culture of the industry that I was in. So my pitch to him was, look, let's do this together. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be something similar to a Fabrika where Madeira is now. Yep. But it goes back to the point of us purchasing what was there, kicked off the demolition, and then my father fell ill and passed away. That Madeira ended up becoming the most successful venture I was ever involved in. And the thing that it taught me was that when you do something from the heart and with passion, it works. Every single moment spent there was a labour of love. It helped me deal with the emotional side of losing my father. People realised there was something different with Madeira. People realised that there was a deep connection to the old Madeira, to my father.
Did your father actually come from restaurants?
He didn't. He moved to Australia as a 13-year-old. His grandfather used to own what we would, I guess, consider a kafana, so a sort of bar/restaurant over in the village in Serbia. So it was something he was always interested in, and something I think he always dreamt to have at some point. So Madeira was his first venture into hospitality. It was his first and his last. With all that took place, we then built a shrine to him. And we created Madeira in his memory. There's on the business card, and actually there's a really big print on the wall. There's a little boy holding up a Madeira sign. It's not me in the photo, although everyone thinks it is. That there became the symbol of Madeira. It was, we've done it, and it's open. So it's almost like pointing the name to the sky, saying it's been created.
For Dad.
And for Dad, yeah.
What are you doing with Canley Heights?
Canley Heights is it's a very tight-knit community. The entire area is based on loyalty, respect, and support. So one thing, I'm very, very lucky. I have really good relationships. I have the most amazing support from all different parts of the community, Canley Heights and surrounding suburbs. For example, the Asian community is probably my biggest support base here in Canley Heights. Some of my closest friends, Vietnamese, Chinese, Cambodian, without some of these people, I would not have the restaurant that I have today. It's their love, their support. It's the fact that they bring their friends and family. I mean, we've had instances here where somebody brings in, for example, their great-grandmother, and she's used to having a very different dining experience. But then we're the restaurant she requests to go to for her next birthday. You know, I think Canley Heights has got an amazing offering, and I think we just sit there and offer that European spin on things.
All right, thank you so much for having me. Shall we finish this off?
We should. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate your time. Cheers.